Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Because, of course, I have some very strong language regarding coffee.
Can I suck your coffee, please?
You can have all of my coffee, Jen.
Jenny is our adult themes.
Yeah, Jenny's also a big one for the bad language. She fills in a lot of that.
Hey, I got stitches out of my toe.
Yay!
Yay.
I just have to stay in the stupid limiting footwear till about Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, that's not too long.
And then
I'm sure it feels a lot longer than it actually is.
I'm pretty used to it now. It's,
And Sammy jumped up. Have you started? Am I late?
Like I told the doctor, what I'm really anxious for is to be able to suck my toes again.
Well, you can suck them again, but the flavor's going to have changed. I mean, you're not going to have all that delicious pus in them anymore.
I did not suck pus. God. Just toe jam.
Well, I thought you had to keep sucking the pus out to keep it clean.
No, we used shop rags for that.
Oh, okay. Did you use fresh shop rags or the one that you used to clean up the oil spill?
Sometimes.
You're so good on pasta, Sammy, son.
When you ask that question of somebody who worked in a garage all their life and hacked themselves open to bloody many times and rarely would ever actually wash it, but bandage yourself up with pieces of shop rag you cut up and duct tape. I'm not really worried about sterility.
I did the same thing when I was working with power tools. Just wrapping it up with any scrap rags I happen to have on hand.
The point I make to people is, like, if you're working on an engine and you hack yourself open and smash into the engine block and wipe a bunch of dry, oil, skanky oil that's on the side and stuff, most of that is probably sterile because it runs at such a high temperature.
That's true.
What the hell is going to live in that environment outside of a tardigrade?
Yeah, but I would think the oil itself would not be good for getting into the wound.
Well, oil's organic.
I don't know. Yeah.
Kinda.
Kind of organic.
Well, it came from something, Dad.
Okay, it was previously organic.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, mine were usually just packed with sawdust, which at least it absorbed the blood.
Yeah, we just shook it off onto the shop floor because we knew we were going to wash that eventually. At least once a year, whether it needs it or not.
I keep getting these phone calls that, they're claiming they're coming from local numbers. But anytime I answer, they're asking for my dead name, and when I ask who's calling, they immediately hang up.
So that's how you get rid of them.
Yeah, if you don't answer those calls, you don't get hassled by those calls.
Yeah.
I get hassled by the calls even if I don't answer them.
Well, initially I thought that they, might be something. So, but now they've been going on for weeks like that.
I've reached a point where I do not answer calls if I do not recognize the number.
Well, mine will usually show potential spam. So.
Yeah, well, like I say, these keep coming up as, being local phone numbers, and it's like they're trying all the adjacent area codes and everything now. Yeah. And, it's just annoying. It's like, if they wanted to reach anyone at this number, why don't they leave a voicemail? So, yeah, they've got to be trying to sell something.
Usually what I get with those things, if I do answer them, is there's nothing on the other end.
Yeah, those are robocallers. These ones, when I've answered them, it has at least been a person, but, it's clearly a call center from like India or Pakistan, because it's always someone with that kind of accent.
What do you mean that kind of accent?
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
That kind of accent, but it's always a generic American name. It's always like, this is John?
Bob. So, how are things in New Delhi today? You didn't eat any hamburgers, huh?
Oh, yeah, maybe I should try that. But just pick it up and, order 5 pounds of ground beef from them.
If you fucked your mother lately, that'll get them going. If they're from India.
Yeah, what what I'm wondering about is, I understand there are McDonald's in India. What the fuck do they serve?
Monkey meat.
I'm guessing the McDonald's locations are in big cities where they get tourists.
The Ganges McDonald's.
Yeah, but
as long as
I suppose they could,
the
and they're getting the beef imported from other countries there, but it just seems to me that should be so offensive to the culture, they should have rioted against them. That's the way they handle things down there for the most part, that they don't worry about political channels. They just go and burn down things they don't like.
I think you're on thin ice, baby.
Perhaps, but I could pull up some news reports to that effect.
As we could do for here as well.
And we have a spooky bed hair.
Spooky.
Hey, Spooky.
Hi, Spook.
Spook the Duke.
How about the local sports team? Okay, I'm not even sure what sports they play down there.
Soccer.
Yeah, but yeah, again, I do have to admit Spooky was right, because I do remember one time, I guess it was when the Vikings got into the playoffs, that we had a riot in the college town part of Minneapolis where they burned a couple of cars.
I hate that when sports fans do that. I don't care where it's located. It just
Yeah.
How dare you be so juvenile?
Well, yeah, and they're destroying private property without even knowing who it belongs to. It's that kind of random vandalism like that is just uncalled for. Your vandalism should be well targeted and give a good clear message.
Well, looking it up, apparently they serve veggie burgers in India.
Okay, that would make sense. I also know that at one time in the Philippines, no, actually it was Burger King that was serving something that they called like the Big Cheese or the Cheese King. Just because the price of meat there at the time was so high that they were just basically selling cheese sandwiches. And yeah, one of them was just 20 slices of American cheese on a bun.
Wow.
I'm a big fan of American cheese.
20
slices? I'm not either. Yeah, it looked like it was like the Kraft slices. Yeah.
Those fuckers
20 pieces of cheese on a bun. That looked like all it was. Yeah. And I like, a decent cheese. I'm not like a connoisseur for the real expensive cheeses, but, I like the decent local cheeses, especially like good sharp cheddar. But yeah, those processed American singles, I really can't eat those.
They're good for quickie grilled cheese sandwiches.
Not even that.
Yeah, they are. I like them.
Yeah. That's
I use
Sloth
cheddar.
Girl. No, Sloth Girl used to like those for making grilled cheese sandwiches, but I had to get the stuff that wasn't originally wrapped, at least. That's the stuff that was actually cheese and not cheese product.
Yeah, I use 2 slices of white cheddar for my grilled cheese.
Try one slice
white
of
cheddar, huh? Yeah, bigot. No. You don't like that colored cheddar, huh?
Hey, Mage, try one slice of cheddar and one slice of Swiss.
I'll have to try that if I ever get it both together at one point.
Yeah.
Try one slice of cheddar and one slice of Kraft American single processed.
I'm not touching that processed stuff.
Come on.
Jenny?
I prefer a good smoked Gouda myself.
Ah.
I've never been able to wrap that very well. And it gums up the filters really quick.
Well, you're not supposed to roll your own. You're supposed to.
I like a pack of Gouda.
I have been getting a smoked cheddar recently. That's been pretty good.
Hello.
Hey, Sumami.
Hey, Sumami. I've also wait a minute. That's an imposter. That's not Sumami's greeting. Sumami always says cello, like those little cherry-filled chocolates.
Well, people are allowed to mistype.
I'm just saying we potentially have an imposter here.
So it's International Coffee Day?
Saying we potentially have an imposter. Yeah, but I'm better talking about cheese because I don't drink coffee. I recently I discovered a new cheese called a Red Lister.
Huwawa?
It's called a Red Lister. And I got it because it just looked like a block of orange cheddar, so I figured I'd try it.
If they can make cheddar, which is, normally white, if they can make it yellow with dyes, why can't they make some blue? I want some blue cheddar cheese.
Yeah, Americans wouldn't buy it because they think it's moldy. Hey, Tori.
Oh,
well,
speaking of that,
blue cheese is moldy. That's
Yep.
the whole idea of it.
And
well, there's this burger from Burger King, which was the 2018 Halloween special.
Oh yeah, the green buns. Yep.
Yeah. Green black bun.
There was a thing where everybody was, posting pictures of their green poop from after eating that.
Yeah, I imagine it would turn your poop a strange color.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do not need after pictures of anyone's poop. Oh, okay. All right, we gotta address the topic. It is International Coffee Day. I have nothing to say about coffee because I do not drink the stuff.
Well, then shut up.
I usually prefer a medium roast.
Yeah, Jenny.
Yeah.
If we all shut up about anything that we didn't know anything about, we'd have about an hour and a half of dead air for every 2-hour stream.
Well. Yeah. But we'd be honest.
Well, yeah,
well we're not being dishonest. I mean, none of us are claiming we know anything. We're just spouting off unfounded opinions.
My usual thing is about 1.5 cups of coffee with 3 ounces of coffee creamer in it.
Yeah, my late fiance said that I made really good coffee, and I just had to take her word for it. The one time I got our cups confused in the morning and took a sip of her coffee, she said I looked like I'd been poisoned.
I've tried drinking coffee straight, black, but I just can't get over the bitterness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
prefer drinking it that way if I could.
I also started making like my own energy shots from her coffee, which was, basically just boiling it down in a pan to concentrate it, get rid of all the extra water, so that in a shot glass full you had as much caffeine as you had usually in a full cup of coffee.
My preferred coffee is like pre what would I want to call that there?
You got Demon Orb too.
Hi, folks.
So Mommy says it always sounds tasty to me, but in practice I need a refreshing drink with a sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can continue now. I prefer my coffee to be like pre yuppie coffee shop density strength.
Yeah. Well, I know you like to walk down to the gas station to get your coffee.
I don't walk down to the gas station; it's a mile away. I can barely walk. I can barely walk
Well,
100 yards.
Okay, maybe you're not doing it now, but I remember you saying you used to do that.
No, I never. Well, there is a gas station that is a block away, but their coffee is not too dissimilar from road tar. So
Yeah.
I tend to avoid that.
Well, that's what I would expect from a gas station.
Yeah, the BP's got the good stuff.
7-Eleven coffee isn't too bad.
Quick Trip coffee is excellent. They have
Quick Trip actually. Sorry.
they have a new their new machine. They used to make coffee and have it sitting there in their giant pot and stuff, staying warm. And in a lot of stores they still have that, but they also have a grind it and brew it while you wait.
Oh,
And,
well, that must be nice. Do they have a selection then of different grinds you can choose from?
yeah, different grinds, or actually different beans.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
4
that's what I
different
meant.
types.
Yeah, I actually started drinking coffee in my 30s because I was getting bad brain fog in the morning from the rheumatoid arthritis, and so I needed something to get me over that hump.
No, mate, that's just because you're waking up in the mornings. Don't do that.
I just heard on the news today that Starbucks has closed 5 coffee shops in the state of Wisconsin.
I hear they're closing hundreds of stores all over the country.
Yeah,
One of them that's been closing in Wisconsin is the one that was I frequented when I was staying at my brother and sister-in-law's house in Fox Point, one of the richest suburbs in the state. Why couldn't they keep us Starbucks going there?
Yeah, I also looked it up. In 2023, the CEO made 14.66 million, and in 2024, he apparently made about 96 million. It's about 6 times the amount he'd made the previous year.
Oh, well, that could explain why they can't afford to keep the store open.
Yeah, actually, some of the store closings are because Starbucks doesn't want unions. So the stores that are getting too close to forming a union, they tend to close them.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the one in Fox Point closed because it had just an absolutely horrible parking situation. At best 5 to 10 parking spots for the entire place.
Okay, so they couldn't handle.
And no drive-through.
Yeah, they couldn't handle the volume of customers. It's probably the no drive-through that closed it.
There's a farmer's market around here that has a terrible little parking lot. Yeah, it's the way it's set up. You actually can get pinned in, so you can't get out.
Well, that's useful. One of the best gas station, Tori, right? One of the best gas station coffees I had was at a Wisconsin franchise called Clark gas stations, and they had this liquid coffee that would brew, in a machine, but it was, they would dump in their fresh concentrate every day, and it was actually quite tasty. It didn't taste at all like the chemicalized stuff. It was just a cold brew coffee that was packaged. It was kind of.
There used to be Clark stations in Minnesota, but I think that they all closed here like in the 80s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, partially I remember that because my favorite place in St. Paul for getting fish and chips was originally a Clark gas station that they converted. And I think that they did that because they're probably using the barrels of oil that were left behind from the gas station to cook the fish.
Well, that's one thing if you want to do compost, you can go around to your local coffee shops and see if you can get their old grounds. Some places will actually sell it to you or give it to you for free, if you ask.
Hey, part of why I exist is because of that. Well, not directly. My great uncle met his wife because he was stationed at the Berlin Wall in Germany in the 1950s. And she would sneak across to get the used coffee grounds from the soldiers, because the used grounds from the American soldiers were better than any coffee they could get on the other side.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah, well, the stuff had market value. She could trade it for some good food then.
It might be our future.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to y'all about. I am not by nature a coffee enjoying person, and it wasn't until somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago, my work situation required me to have an odd sleep schedule. So I kind of, started drinking coffee of necessity, but I would always do the, I would do the stuff with the, heavy on the sweetener and creamer to cover up the coffee taste. And for a while I was drinking like the Monster Java energy drink coffee thing.
Yeah.
And nowadays I have a Keurig machine at home, and so I'll make a single cup, and I've got a like a big 20-ounce coffee stein, and
That's a barrel.
I'll put like 2 packets of hot chocolate mix in it, and brew and put in and I'll punch the large size for dispensing, the large size on the Keurig machine for dispensing the coffee, and then fill that the rest of the way up with creamer, and that tends to do the trick for me. Although, taste wise, that works okay for me. My only issue with that is then I have to poop a lot, and I'm
Excuse me, I have to step away for a moment now.
Oh, you were okay with the green poop from the green whoppers at Halloween, but
it wasn't green poop. It was normal color poop.
yeah.
Try something to try. You take one of those hot chocolate mixes and mix it with jasmine tea.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, I'll try that. I would have never thought of that one.
And the chemical that's in coffee that makes you poop is called gastrin. And you can find caffeine-free coffee all over the place. But to me, that defeats the point of having coffee. Why don't they make gastrin-free coffee?
Also it can also make you pee more too.
Actually, Spooky, I already took care of that earlier today. So
Hey, Robin.
It's now finished.
Oh, Deep State Annex.
Yep. Hey, Commander. Yeah, my mother, her coffee is like half coffee and half milk and 2 spoons of sugar. I can appreciate the smell of coffee. I think a lot of them smell nice, but I just can't take the taste. I do keep some of those, a generic 5-hour energy shots. I keep some of those around for when I have to do long drives or sometimes for conventions. Because conventions usually have me going on no more than 3 or 4 hours sleep. Just because they'll run so late at night and then start so early in the morning again. Although this time I'm going with Xanax, so I'll actually be able to sleep most of the time that I'm out of the convention.
Yeah, when I'm
Robin's asking if you've tried iced coffee.
I actually prefer iced coffee. In fact, the one I like is the Frappuccino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again,
yeah, I only have those on the weekend though, because they're a lot more sugary and calorie. But also, I did come up with my own recipe for them.
Oh, how do you make them?
I'd have to pull up the recipe.
Okay. But... yeah. Again, my late fiance liked the iced coffee, so like in the evening, any of the coffee that she hadn't drank that day, I often just poured them into ice cube trays. So then I could, make the iced coffee for her without it getting watered down if it had to, sit in her thermos for a couple hours before she drank it.
I never actually add ice to the iced coffee.
Oh, yeah. One of the things I need to look up today is find someplace locally that I can buy a block of dry ice so that I can keep stuff in my cooler, cold from Friday morning until Sunday night.
Not really coffee, but the Thai tea is really good.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering what it would be like if you dropped a piece of dry ice into your coffee. Obviously, it would evaporate immediately, but it would leave your coffee kind of carbonated.
Somewhat.
Yeah. So what would you think of lightly carbonated coffee?
I think all of you should be taken out back, hands tied behind your back, put up against the wall and shot in the back of the head. Just like that preacher described to do to gay and trans people, because abusing coffee the way you are is just absolutely immoral, and I have nothing but utter disgust for you now.
Fair.
Excuse me.
Oh, hey Maya.
Well, at least we're not
Hi,
drinking
Maya.
decaf.
Maya, holy cow!
Yeah,
Maya.
my unfinished song has become a regular on our panel. He's been doing it for a couple of months here. Iced coffee without ice.
Yeah, that's how I usually do it.
I'm still waiting for Maya to ask me to be on her show so we can talk about the bad science of trans hate in the right wing of America today.
Well, they usually don't do things quite so political, but I'm sure she can find something for you.
Interesting you mention that, seeing as I've been staring at that whole NSPM M7.
What?
NSPF7? What?
The memorandum that Trump put out on Antifa.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know the numbers.
Yeah, as if there is an entity called Antifa.
Yeah.
Did any of you listen to little Petey Hegseth, or excuse me, Kegseth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immature adolescent rant to all the generals.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It was just this little. I'm gonna show you how macho and tough I am.
Yep.
Jeez.
You know that. Why doesn't the right wing ever get that Antifa means anti-fascist? So if you are opposing the anti-fascists, doesn't that prove you're fascist?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit more to that. It's a opposing fascism in a militant way would be more or closer to the definition, and that's. But still,
There is no set definition for it. It's people who are against fascism in whatever way they do it.
no, actually, it does include being militant in a militant fashion.
Who says?
Dictionary.
Yeah, which one?
Let's see here, dictionary.com, Merriam-Webster's. Let's look at Merriam-Webster's.
Okay, Maya. Jenny is still on Twitter and she is on Blue Sky. So if you need to, you can drop me a note and I can give you a link to hers.
Let's see, opposing fascism. Okay, so it doesn't mention militant there, but did mention in my pulled it up Antifa definition.
Commander's got it right. The people who stormed the beaches of Normandy were anti-fascist.
Technically, even by the whole militant action, yes. I've been using Star Wars as an example. Usually, those who are Antifa in movies, and such, are, well, usually the good guys.
Well, half of our chat has already proclaimed that they are Antifa.
Oh yeah, because dictionary, Oxford Languages, the political protest movement comprising autonomous groups affiliated by their militant in opposition to fascism or other forms of extreme right-wing ideology.
Yep.
And let's remember also that dictionaries are descriptive, not proscriptive.
Yeah.
Heathen Granny is asking how everybody feels about the ICE raids, and yeah, if you were interfering with ICE agents, that definitely would qualify you as Antifa.
I'm fine with that definition still.
Yep.
Maya and I said the same thing at the same time. Oh my God, she's smarter than me. Well, we knew that ahead of time, but
yeah.
No, I doubt most people are hearing Antifa and thinking being a peaceful protester. So.
Well, see, they need to broaden their definition, because if I'm online and I'm writing things and making memes and all this sort of stuff against fascism, I'm Antifa or
So,
Antifa. I hate pronouncing it Antifa.
though, also another point in that is that being militant doesn't necessarily mean being violent.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Tsunami's saying they just beat the shit out of the journalist who tried to photograph them. And yeah, I did hear an ICE agent. An ICE agent recently got fired, apparently for not wearing his mask while he beat the shit out of someone.
Really? That's interesting.
Say that again.
Well, they claim he was beating up on someone and he wasn't wearing a mask. You know, and that they claim it was because he was being unnecessarily violent. But
or was that? Would
you
that
know,
be that
we
old,
know as long as they couldn't have identified him, they wouldn't have cared.
Would that be that old guy in the hallway who was beating up that woman?
Yeah, that was the one. They knocked the woman to the floor.
Yeah, he got his job back, by the way.
Oh, did he? Fuck.
Oh, is that the one that got fired and then got his job right back?
He was suspended without pay.
I didn't know he got his job back. The report I saw just said he got fired. Wikipedia. Anti-fascism is a political movement in opposition to the fascist ideology, groups and individuals. Well, we can't argue with Wikipedia.
No, they're always perfectly correct.
Okay, Dave, is Bigfoot Antifa?
A group of masked people doing bidding of a fascist government? Gee, what does that sound like?
Maya nails it.
Yeah. Yeah, most people do think of Antifa as being nonviolent protest. Antima? You're against Maz?
I'm thinking that's probably only on the left that see it as non-violent protesting is from what I've looked at, but well, like I said, I'm fine with including the militant aspect to it anyway. Like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean violent.
Well, yeah, and as Maya says, that the people on the right and like the reporters for Fox News like to represent any violence they can find that they can link to Antifa.
Or they can't link to Antifa; they just say it anyways.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It doesn't have to link to Antifa; they just say it.
Yeah, there have been situations where they claim somebody to be in Antifa and they're not.
like the guy on Charlie Kirk's Last Buddy. Oh my God, I'm laughing at Charlie Kirk. Oh no.
You're just a horrible person who's a monster, and you're responsible for Charlie Kirk's death, and I'm sure we can think of more things to blame you for.
Well, did you hear their well, yeah, we were talking about it in the private chat about them saying that there was a second shooter who shot Charlie Kirk from behind.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that. I've been trying. This whole thing is extremely confusing as to how this whole thing is going. So first you have this whole thing of there was no autopsy, and then turns out there was an autopsy. So the whole is from some kind of chatter here on radio. Who was that came from? So basically, it was somebody saying there was no autopsy. The wife just signed in the death certificate, but that may either be missing context. There may be more, there may be more to that conversation, or that conversation in where we got that from might not even, it might be fake.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there was an autopsy. I was watching somebody covering this who's a mortician.
Okay.
But apparently, I haven't been able to pull up the actual documents of all that. But apparently, the autopsy is showing that the bullet it went in and got lodged in the back of his neck and spine, just barely, not even quite poking out. So there's no exit wound, which makes no friggin' sense for her 30-06.
There sure the hell wasn't an exit wound. We all saw the blood gush by the gallon.
I'm getting to that part.
Oh, okay.
So from that perspective, what we saw gushing out was the entrance wound. And this is where we're getting into the whole second shooter thing, because if that was an exit wound, that would mean there would have to be somebody from a different angle, shooting from around behind him, thus hitting them back in the head and coming out the neck, and that's where we get the whole second shooter from. So either way, this being a 30-06 rifle doing the job makes no sense whatsoever, because from what I've seen of tests of people getting out their own rifles and shooting things, that hole in the neck, heck, it would be a moot point, because there wouldn't be much of a neck left for us to be arguing about.
A 30-06 is a very powerful charge, much more so than a 30-30, and there's no way that the human spine is going to stop a 30-30 shell.
The only way that was explaining that was hitting body armor and bouncing up. That could have given the result that we see. However, he wasn't wearing any protection, so there was nothing for it to bounce off of. So it's not making any sense whatsoever.
Okay, I have a theory. Just like, the classic time travel question is, if you could go back, would you have assassinated Hitler? Well, maybe the attempt on Charlie Kirk did not succeed, so the new question became, if you could go back, would you assassinate Kirk? And so then somebody actually did develop a time machine and did it. So that's how you have the second shooter.
Makes as much sense as the regular conspiracy theory, I suppose.
I can also pull up for the second shooter thing. And, actually, let me get this a little bit bigger. Okay, so a lot of people are arguing. So right here is where Charlie was. That's his little tent there. A lot of people are.
Where?
Do you see my cursor?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, off on the left side, in the green field with the raised areas.
This this kind of half.
Yeah, towards the left side, about a third of the way
thing
down.
that looks vaguely like a baseball diamond.
Yeah, now I can see it when you're actually moving it grossly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you see
that's
my
where Kirk was standing.
You see my cursor, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of people are saying they saw this plant sniper guy. That would be right over here. And of course, when you look at other angles, it's just a plant like on a bench, and it's probably just an optical illusion. But this angle would not give you the angle you need to have hit him in the back of the head. That does.
No.
That the only angle I can see where you could actually see him would be somewhere over in this direction here. But because if you're any further over, you're going to be blocked by the back of this tarp thing he was under. You wouldn't be able to see him. But even this angle is kind of questionable for getting him in the back of the head and coming out the neck like it did.
Well, what's always bothered me with an elevated shot is that according to what they have been saying, that the entrance wound is located on towards the base of the neck on the right side, more towards the rear. For that to be a straight line between there and the exit wound that we all saw happen, you're not going to do that from a third-story building.
Yeah, the shooter apparently was somewhere in this area here.
Okay, now I guess I don't see your cursor again.
Yeah.
Top right.
Top right.
Oh, way over there.
Yeah, he was over here. And that was, first estimates were about 200 yards. I believe it's been shortened to about 142 or 144, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
So he shot from somewhere in this area and hit Charlie, according
Yeah,
to the way
somewhere
that
in that
goes.
like 3-story thing that
Yeah.
was there.
And then
Yeah.
he kind of ran over, and it's not in this picture, but it would be all off the screen here, and he ran over and jumped off the building, and that's where he ran off to.
Okay. Heathen Granny is asking about how small was his face. I'm not sure how that's relevant, but
His face was small, but his teeth, his gums were huge.
yeah.
He really easy to aim up on.
But anyway, here's a kind of a layout of where things were. So one is where we saw the alleged shooter in the home cameras. Where he's walking on the street, where he's like kind of limping, and
Okay.
in the earlier
way
photo
up
where
on the
he's
top.
so that's where he was. And it kind of follows down, and this kind of follows down to where he sat here. And that number 5 is where Charlie Kirk was. This is where he jumped off with number 6, and number 7 is where they found the rifle.
Okay.
So this is apparently where I think. Let me double check this here.
Well, the
Yeah,
important lesson for this, I think, for everybody out there, is don't be trans, and you won't get caught doing this.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, he had the. And I don't think anybody's believing those text messages.
Well, and this is still overshadowing everything. So, very few people are mentioning that. I think it was Monday that we had a shooting at a Mormon church here in Minnesota.
Yep.
Where somebody, allegedly somebody started a fire, then crashed their car through the wall of the Mormon church
That was
and
Michigan.
started shooting people.
That was Michigan.
Okay, sorry, I thought it said Minnesota.
And he crashed first and started shooting and lit the fire. And
Okay.
they got into the firefight with the cops and died.
Yeah, but apparently that same day there were 4 mass shootings in the U.S. in different states.
Yep.
So yeah, it's like, yeah, everybody's focused on this one guy, but a lot of people are getting shot.
Yeah, it
And,
has become difficult to focus on every single one.
Yeah, well, the guy who crashed into the Mormon church, they did immediately say that he was a Trump supporter.
Oh,
Yeah.
except MAGA saying no, he wasn't. That T-shirt is photoshopped.
Yeah.
Well, I believe the T-shirt was photoshopped, but that doesn't exclude other
Yeah.
points.
Yeah,
Except
just
that they have shown examples of the T-shirt live. Nobody wearing it, sitting there in the package, so to speak.
yeah, well, just the police report said that there were, clearly things in his car that showed he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, it's almost like we got a gun violence problem, and lefties aren't the main culprits.
Yeah.
You communist.
Well, if that's how you're going to define your terms, I guess so.
I heard one person discussing that, and this was a lefty, discussing that let me try again. What this may be indicating or the beginning of is a intra-Christian war, for which Christianity shall be supreme in the new order of fascism in America.
Yeah, well, and I figured that was inevitable, that once they felt that the Christian theocracy was going to be established, it's going to be a fight over whose version.
Yeah.
Kind of like them Sharia and Shiites and
Yep. All that fun stuff. So yeah, we're going to
religion
be.
is just such a fun thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I think the one at the Mormon church was, that it was just somebody mad that their church had more money than his church.
What am I doing wrong here? Hello?
Yes?
Oh, okay. I thought I screwed myself here, which I do from time to time anyway, but
Usually not when we're
And
live.
if you want to screw yourself,
well, nobody else will.
Wait until after we're done with the live stream.
Journey, how much would I have to pay? Well, never mind. So, do you guys like my little rose?
Yes.
You guys in the chat know
yes, very nice.
this
Yep.
was my birthday present this year. It's my
Yep.
gay rose.
It's very pretty.
Actually,
I decided to give her a name too. Her name is Rose.
Yeah. Very creative.
It looks like you've just folded a pride flag into a rose.
Well, somebody else did that. It is a silk flower.
Yeah.
The person who gave it to me thought it was live. Oh, that's not silk. See these little linen kind of lines? No, I can't see those all the way. You're older than I am, so.
But it's a beautiful thing she gave you.
Actually, it is. I mean, I like it. I have it on display near me, and I plan to keep it for life.
For some reason, my thing wants to put it off on the side instead of centering it, but
Oh, aren't that pretty?
You use code NTF at checkout. Yes. If I had a merch store, I would definitely put that up.
they didn't recognize this was a silk flower.
No, they didn't.
What did
But
they
this,
think?
but this person, I have to give directions to the BP from my house, which is turn right and go straight.
Hope they didn't think it was a real flower.
Now, Jenny,
Yes.
I would have problems with those directions because I simply can't do straight.
Forward, never straight.
Boom. So purple. Yeah, the standard sound effect. You know. So the rim shot is kind of the standard sound effect.
Yeah.
For a dad joke. But your preference is to put sloths in the chat. Is there a sound effect that goes with sloths?
There is, but it will hurt your ears.
Yes.
During mating season, the female sloth just stays right where she is and just screams continuously until a male comes to her.
I thought it was the male sloth that screams.
No, I thought it was the female. Well, I'll have to double check. But yeah, just screaming until somebody gives you attention was Sloth Girl's way of doing it. Yeah.
I would expect that it would be the male who's screaming before the copulation, but it's the female screaming when he leaves before she's done.
Yep. Now, from what I understand, the copulation is about the only thing that sloths are quick about. I mean, you would think with the way they do everything else that, the mating should take like at least an hour, but no.
Well, maybe that's why they're so slow at everything else. They're saving all their energy for Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
No, yeah, it is the female, the one that screams.
Perp, do that for your Halloween costume. Dress up as a screaming sloth.
Yeah, I could do the high shriek. Like I said, I have heard recordings of it, and it will hurt your ears. Actually, it has the possibility of decalcifying your skull. Yes, well, you've got all the, the sexy versions of everything costumes. So yeah, horny sloth. Actually, the female is screaming because she's like, "You better come over here. I shaved my legs for this." And Heathen Granny, yes, they are.
I'm sure in the furry fandom we can find the anthropomorphic sexy sloth.
I'm sure if I searched for it on DeviantArt, I would find it. Yes.
Heathen, I got to ask you for a translation. I don't speak Spanish. But I took Latin, and if I try to translate through the Latin I know, are you asking how somebody is going away? What are they riding away, driving away, walking away? What? And that you love them.
Well, Heathen Granny was also saying that Native Americans should resist occupation like Hamas.
Hairy women are fucking sexy. Oh man, I miss again.
Yeah, well, while I battle daily with my face having too much hair, I actually have very low body hair. I don't have to much worry about that part.
So Jenny, my understanding of Spanish would render that phrase as, how are you doing, my love?
Oh. Well, I guess Latin is just not adequate, is it?
My understanding of Spanish, I would think that phrase says, huh? What? Oh, what's going on now?
¿Cómo te va, mi amor? Oh, Sumami.
I did not know that about Yoko.
You gotta go in there with a bushwhacker before you can have sex, huh?
Or just part it delicately.
You know, people when they get old lose hair. I've lost all the hair in my armpits. It's gone, just gone.
Wait a minute.
I never have to shave armpits again. Hooray!
I think we have a new theory here that maybe Yoko Ono was actually a shaved sloth, because that would explain her singing.
Yes.
Who is the worst singer, Yoko Ono or Roseanne Barr? It's pretty much a tie, I think.
I don't think I've ever heard Roseanne sing.
Oh, you can find it. I don't know that you really should, but you can find it out there.
Well, the only thing I knew of her singing was trying to sing the national anthem.
That's all all you want to hear.
Okay, to be fair, I've heard in my life maybe 2 decent renderings of the national anthem. You know, it's just it's really a bad song.
You need to find the recording of Whitney Houston singing it during the Super Bowl halftime show.
That was one of the 2 I was referring to.
It's spectacular. You know, of course, her voice is so unique. But
well,
the way she did it, it felt like she was telling a story more than singing a song.
Yeah, but you know, you have to have a really incredible range to be able to sing it.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad song so much as a difficult song.
Well, you know, from everything I've heard, it was based on an Irish drinking song, and it makes a lot more sense if you believe that people only sang that when they were drunk.
Sinister, are you speaking of Whitney Houston or Roseanne Barr? They're both memorable. Only one doesn't hurt your ears and your brain. The other one does.
Well, Sinister Porpoise said that it was a memorable rendition of it. Did not say it was a good one, just said that it was memorable. And yes, people do remember it.
That her doing that, what made me turn me from somebody who thought she was okay to somebody who absolutely despised her. I heard that she did
Yeah.
it that way intentionally as a joke, and
Yeah.
that really made it worse.
I'm just wondering, this was a major sporting event. Who the fuck thought Roseanne Barr was going to be a good choice for that? There had to be negotiations. The stadium had to choose somebody. Or was the stadium that bad off that this was the highest ranking celebrity they could get?
Roseanne Barr singing.
Oh no! Do not play this. Do not play.
No, I'm not gonna play it. I'm
I
playing
will
it for
leave and not
myself.
come back.
I'm playing it for myself. Not.
Okay, so as long as we don't hear it.
Okay, so maybe we should, and we should compare who is the worst singer, Roseanne Barr, Yoko Ono, or a Sloth and Heat. Molly brought me lunch today. She brought me big chicken salad croissant.
Sounds nummy.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite sandwiches there.
It's about the same as Yoko Ono singing, actually. Though considering Yoko Ono actually tries to be a singer, I'm gonna have to give it to Yoko Ono as being the worst.
Also, I don't know about Roseanne Barr, about if she claimed it was a joke. Was it she only claimed it was a joke after all the criticism?
Probably.
Could we stop talking about Roseanne Barr?
Okay, I'm good with that. I have a cat asleep on my leg, and I am eating lunch.
I hope there's a comma in there somewhere.
I have been teaching Slothson that illustrating from many things he said that where you put the comma is very important.
Yes, the Oxford comma is king or queen or something important.
Well, like one of them last night, he was saying that his grandmother was an English professor, and depending on where you put the comma, that could either be someone who teaches English or someone from the UK who happens to be a teacher.
Well, for my money, if you don't know what it is and do not use the Oxford comma, I can't be your friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
Purple, I don't know that I would use a comma in
okay.
that sentence either way.
Maybe the comma is not literally there, but
like capitalization might make a difference.
That's two different sentences then.
Remember, a comma is the difference between I helped my Uncle Jack off a horse and I helped my Uncle Jack off a horse.
Again, I think capitalization would be more relevant.
No, I think what do I use in AP style?
Sure.
I hate AP style. AP style makes me angry.
What is AP style?
Associated Press style book. It's what journalists typically use on most major newspapers and stuff to. It helps you know what word to use to describe a person of, say, a rank or a position or a disability. it just helps universalize some of these terms in journalism.
Okay.
And I was forced to use it when I wrote in the magazine, and I detested every moment of it.
Well, I butcher every foreign language I try to speak, so I might as well butcher my native language too. Just to be fair.
Out there in the chat, and I know Porpoise does, but the rest of you out there, do you know what an Oxford comma is?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
The AP style book is not to be tossed aside lightly. It is to be thrown with great force.
I am 100% in agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not know Associated Press was the recognized authority in such things.
Well, in journalism standards, I don't know any novelists who use it. They may, but I don't think it's particularly common in a lot of other forms of writing. I will never use it in any of my essays or columns that I write. Although I may choose to go back to find out if I do it this way, am I breaking the rules or not breaking the rules? And the rules in and of themselves are not bad. What bothers me about the style book is the compulsivity of the editor to demand that you use it, instead of allowing freedom to explore the liquid language that English is.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's I've been trying to work on that myself. That my punctuation is absolutely appalling, so I'm trying to learn how to do it better for my novel.
I had a war with my editor once on my habit of writing in dialect. So wait, not insult somebody directly. Oh, he hated it. That's adolescent. Yeah, it is, but it works.
Dialect, is that our new political strategy that will elect one president from each party at the same time?
Well, no, it doesn't work that way. Perfect, Ivy. Perfect. Oh my God, we're talking about grammar. Jesus, what a boring group.
Well, my grammar's been going for some years now.
Same here.
I think I have some grammar crackers, but I'm not sure.
Cinnamon biscuits, just as grandma used to make.
Oh, synonym biscuits?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's when you're just a little bit bad, a cinnamon. No, very few of my jokes are getting anywhere today. I've been getting just a lot of long dead pauses here.
Cinnaminimum?
Yep. Yeah, there we go. Well, at least the insects are applauding me. That's better than the dead silence.
Zinnobar. Ivy probably knows that. Zinnobar. Or Zinnobar rot.
Zinnobar?
Cinnamon.
Okay. I just haven't heard pronounced that way.
Joyman.
Ah.
Rot. Red. Zinnobar rot.
And what language is that, Jenny?
Joyman.
Oh, German.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah. 9.
10.
Well, that's why Germans got the rockets launched faster. They only counted down from 9.
Geez, there's this that brings to mind. Yesterday, I watched this video. It was on TikTok. It was made on TikTok, but it was seen on Twitter. It was like a minute or two long of cats proving why they need to have 9 lives.
Yep.
No cats were hurt in the making of this video. But Jesus Christ, it's pretty shocking that they weren't. It's just awful. Poor little pussies. I mean, cats.
I was watching a video. Cat walks over to somebody, hisses at them, then rubs up against them, rubs up against them again, looks up at him, hisses at him.
That's very mixed messaging.
That was Petunia basically every day. Petunia, if you wanted to pet her, you would usually get 3 strokes. If you tried for a 4th one, you would get bit.
That's both of my cats were like that. That they'd come and say, "Oh, here, pet me," and so you pet them, and then for no rhyme or reason, they would just sit there for a few minutes getting petted, and then all of a sudden turn around and bite your arm off.
Yeah, some cats are just easily overstimulated. One of my favorite memes.
Un momento.
It's just the cat showing up at the gates to heaven with a punch card.
Oh.
Nope, you're only up to 7. You're going back down.
I like the meme that's going around still of Charlie Kirk in a choir robe, white choir robe, standing in the front of the gates of heaven, and Jesus is standing there in all his Middle Eastern dark skinned glory, and Charlie looks very surprised.
Yeah.
Like, uh-oh.
yeah, that's something that most Christians don't seem to get. Jesus would not look like a Northern European.
Yeah.
There has to be a way to combine tortillas, cheese, and olives to be as tasty as I think they should be. Yeah, there's nothing bad there. That sounds like it should turn out well.
I'm not a big fan of olives.
It kind of sounds like a soft tortilla.
Oh, I love olives. Yeah, well, it sounds, just kind of like a cheesy tortilla, and I would think that the olives, would just give it a little bit of zing.
I like the black ripe in a can mushroom olives.
Yeah, well, those are the kind you use on tacos and stuff like that. Yeah, and on pizza.
I've been known to buy a can of those and eat them like a snack food.
I've done that too.
This is getting me hungry, so I'm gonna go grab myself a snack.
I've been known to bring like a pack of olives to a family event, and the reason being, olive y'all.
Man, you're gonna get so spanked when I meet you.
Actually, a fun thing is if you order a pizza with black olives, and then before anyone gets to it, you replace half of the olives with faucet washers.
Purple.
You're gonna poop for funny for a few days.
The point is, no one else will take more than one slice of pizza, so then you can pull them all off and have the rest of the pizza yourself.
I want my pizza to be either a cheeseburger pizza from Domino's or mushrooms, black olives, ground beef. That's all. Hey, has anybody heard the progress of the flotilla going to Gaza?
I haven't heard any progress reports on it. I heard about them, trying to get a bunch of private boats to just get aid in there to bring in food and medical supplies.
Well, they did, and they got a flotilla of many different private craft, and they've been approaching. And I've heard that they were being having shit dropped on them, and drones come after them from Israel, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I heard that they were trying to bomb the boats. Yeah, Jesus was a liberal socialist hippie Jew. And if he came back, the MAGA people would not like him at all. Nor would the billionaires. Can you imagine what Jesus would have made of billionaires? Of one person having as much money as some entire countries.
Yeah.
I got myself some more snacks. Almost
Snack
out of it.
edge.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Pepperoni's good, but I have to be careful with it. It can trigger my acid reflux. I usually just get pizza with the sausage and mushroom and olives.
Drop the olives and I'd eat that.
Okay, the olives can be optional. Okay, so what's everybody's favorite pizza toppings?
Pepperoni, mushrooms, and cheddar cheese.
Black olives, mushrooms, ground beef, and after it's cooked and before you cut it up, cheddar cheese.
Okay.
I'm kind of partial to the the classic Hawaiian pizza,
Oh my God.
minus the coconut.
Okay, that is the last time you'll be seeing him on our show. No. I believe we must have compassion for people who like pineapple on pizza until we can perfect our techniques for removing the malfunctioning brain chips. See that's the Saurian control chip. That when it malfunctions, it affects the taste centers in your brain, so you think weird combinations taste good.
Pineapple on pizza is such an abhorrent thing that the first time you even try it, it permanently damages you so that you will eat it again. It's like this parasite that has the science down.
In other words, for all you know, it may be perfectly wonderful, but you're so close-minded that you've never tried it.
My uncle was the only one who actually liked the sardines on pizza.
Sardines or anchovies?
Anchovies. Yeah.
Yep. I love pineapple. I love pizza, but the two should never touch. Pineapple should never touch any tomato-based product.
Or ham. Pineapple is not meant to be eaten warm. Okay, it's just not.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just cut up a fresh pineapple last night, so I've got a couple of containers of it in my fridge now. How about curry on pizza? Yeah, I'm not sure, but I suppose if it's the spice you really like. Sinister Porpoise says pepperoni and green olives.
Green olives are okay. I don't mind
Yep.
those.
I can do either black or green olives.
Anchovy pineapple pizza.
Well, if I'm in if I'm with a group and they want to put pineapple on pizza, and they're trying to poll everybody, is that okay if we put pineapple on pizza? I always say yes, absolutely, as long as the other half is anchovies.
Yeah, I had the anchovies on pizza once just because, somebody trying.
Oh no!
Huh?
Captive.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
I thought she had passed a while ago, actually.
I had a crush on her as a kid.
Yeah, she was a
91 years old.
she was a superb researcher. Unfortunately, she did accidentally start a war between neighboring tribes of chimpanzees. Well, that early on, in order to study them, they set up feeding stations to attract them, and then they realized that the chimpanzees were relying too much on the feeding stations and not foraging for themselves. So, they cut the number of feeding stations in half, and they were going to phase them out. But when there were only half as many feeding stations, then the neighboring tribe raided one tribe, to take everything from the feeding stations.
Yeah,
so
a scarce resource becomes something to compete for.
Yeah. So that started a war that went on several years. Basically, one tribe did a complete genocide that they had. Eventually, they had killed all the males in the other tribe and just incorporated some of the females into their own tribe.
Kind of like what humans do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so just by making the food so plentiful for a while and then taking it away, it started a war.
Wow.
Well, that's what wars always are about, is resources.
Yep. Well, resources and religion. Although most of the time it's about resources and they use religion to justify it.
Yeah, religion is an effective tool for uniting a community.
I'm hoping for a war between the common people and billionaires. Those bastards have just fucked up our nation and the world, actually.
Yes.
They are the number one source of damage.
Don't look next to you, look up.
God,
Jenny, you communist?
Well, we should do something like the purge, but when we do it, we should organize to, bus people into the richest neighborhoods, because that's where you can get all the good stuff.
Purple, you communist?
Well, I am socialist. I'm not so comfortable with the communist label, but I am socialist.
What? You mean there's a difference?
Only in the books.
Don't you know socialism leads to communism? If I'm getting arguing that.
Well, okay, I am socialist for, everybody having shared ownership of the important resources. I am definitely against dictators. Yep, Ivy's got the idea there. We need to, take a page from the French.
Wait, what's wrong with hot dogs and potatoes?
What?
Dictators?
Oh. Okay, where's the rim shot?
When you say dictator like that, I think of somebody who's very good at carving.
Well,
thank you. Hey, did anybody happen to watch Kimmel or Colbert last night?
Didn't watch them last night.
I listened to Colbert's monologue.
They were on each other's show last night.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, I saw he had him as a guest, but I didn't watch that segment.
Yeah, they the same night they both broadcast the show with the other on it, and at one point they broke away, and one it's Kimmel in his chair, and the other is Colbert in his chair, and they put them side by side, waving at each other. it was kind of cute. It turns out they're really close friends and stuff. All of those guys, I guess it happened during COVID where they created their own little community of late night comedians, and they've turned into just really good friends and do shit together and all that stuff. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know that that they were friends and they've been on each other's shows a number of times.
I really like how ABC dealt with the whole thing. They pulled back enough to gather information and to have corporate discussions and to make decisions and plans, and then Sinclair Broadcasting's in their little right wing nutcase world. Oh well, we're just not going to show it anyways. And ABC came back and said, well then you just don't have to see any football games or any Olympics or any of that other stuff, do you?
Oh, is that what ABC held to get them to do it?
Yep, and it changed their mind in 24 hours.
Well, yeah. If their stations can't broadcast the football games, that's a major ratings loss.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh God, I hate Sinclair Broadcasting. God, they're absolutely disgusting.
I like them as a gas station, not so much as a broadcaster.
Well, there's nothing better than green dinosaur gas, but
well, see that's the problem. Once they got rid of the dinosaurs, they went to hell.
Green dinosaur. What were the dinosaurs eating those burgers?
Exactly.
The dinosaurs were the burgers.
I don't know, but when there was a Sinclair station just north of St. Paul that got turned into a Quick Trip. For a while, they still had the fiberglass dinosaur sitting out front, and I was so tempted to go out there one night with my angle grinder and cut the bolts out and take it home and make it into a couch. Wouldn't that have been great? If I just cut out the middle section and made it into a couch with the dinosaur's head and the tail.
I would have made it into a coffee table. Cut out a piece of glass so it'll fit over the head, down the neck, and another hole so that it squares off the back, but the back still protrudes through.
Ooh. Now that would have been a great tank for Molly's son's lizard. Actually, if they had room for it, I saw something. I saw a hexagon coffee table. Yep, that guy. I wanted to steal one of those. Yeah, that's the exact mold, the same size and everything.
Oh, he's so cute. We never had Sinclairs around Milwaukee.
Oh, really?
There might have been one or two, but none that I remember as a kid.
They were all over the Chicago area.
It's weird. After a certain point in the gas crisis in the 70s, let's see now, which was it? Mobile stations disappeared and Exxon's took over, or they came with some kind of decision between the two. That okay, you take this market, we'll take the other market, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that's Exxon and Mobil wound up merging.
And what does Exxon even mean?
Major oil spills. I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to get away from the Exxon Valdez. That's going to just keep coming back to haunt them.
Drunken boat pilots, yay! It helps explain why Pete Higgs is such a danger.
I'm looking for another picture, so fill the airtime.
Hey, so none of you guys responded to my DM in the chat when I described how much trouble I am deciding to reset my old phone. Why am I resistant to doing that?
I can't tell you why, but I'm the same way. I have like 3 old phones that I've just kept the memory up just in case there's something still in them that I don't have somewhere else.
Let's see. Now I'm getting a fuck your diet communism too, and the whole socialism and communism and thing on Twitter X here. Lovely people on this platform.
Yeah.
Something like that makes me so crazy because a 5-second Google search will answer the question of which is which, and how are they not the same? And it's like, why can't? Is it too hard to type those little words in the search bar? Is that what your problem is? Is it
Well,
right?
Unfortunately, Google's gotten much worse because now the first answer you get is always the AI.
Well, even the AI gets it right.
Okay, this is the gas station dinosaur that I currently have to steal to make a couch.
Yeah.
I swear I had
That
nothing to
makes
do with
sense.
it. Yeah. Now, when I moved away,
I'm looking at the forward mini horn and the two up on top that are like handlebars. That would be a great, easy way to sit. Well, never mind.
Yeah. Well, when I had moved away from Minnesota, this dinosaur was there, but it was always painted, like a camo green, kind of color. And when I came back, it was painted orange. And I swear I had nothing to do with that.
Sure you didn't.
Where is that?
That's a gas station in Elk River. Or, yeah, it's around Elk River.
Oh, they've determined the winner of the Fat Bear contest this year.
Oh, yeah. Who won?
I don't know. It was just a blurb that says the decision's been made.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look at that.
Oh, drat! Damn it.
Jenny, maybe we have to explain for the audience what the Fat Bear contest was.
Yes, please.
Well, there's a number of bears that hang out at a particular park and chow down on salmon and everything to fatten up for the winter. And so for the last number of years, there's been kind of this little club cult that has been trying to elect the fattest bear of the year award for which one gains the most weight and looks the most absolutely blob-like by the end of the feeding season before they go for their big nap. The Arthur B. Homer. What's an Arthur B. Homer? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to check that once you were finished. But yeah, the Fat Bears, apparently there was an exceptionally good salmon run this year, so the bears were even fatter than usual.
We should be able to find some pictures, get them up here and share it with the audience. Oh, Sister Ship of the Edmund. No, I didn't. The Cleveland Cliffs ship that I did, that picture is of, is the same type of ore carrier, but I don't know that they're related in any way, shape, or form.
So Porpoise asks, how many of you had to call the administrators to your classroom to break up a fight between 3 boys today?
Not me.
Yeah, not me. It was only 1 boy and 2 lesbians.
Ooh, the lesbians won, huh?
Well, the boy foolishly thought that the girls were fighting over him, and they decided to team up and trounce him.
That would do it.
Hey, Perp, grab. I want to feed my ego a little bit here. Grab the picture of that that ore boat and the close up of the bow. And I just want to brag to the audience if you want to see
Oh, there we go.
some seriously talented photography from 50 years ago.
I got it. Just let me bring it onto the
50
stage.
years ago. 50 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Oh, wait a minute. Ah, sorry, wrong tab. There it is.
Well, thank you, Purpose. That's very. No, show the other one first.
Oh, I thought you said the one at the bow. So that was
No,
the one.
there's a. I thought I put a close up in there with way closer than this.
Why am I having trouble finding that again?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did.
No, I've got tabs.
Yeah, the other picture is the wide shot.
Yep.
Okay, there you go, folks. That's from 1975, and again, thank you very much, Porpoise. You understand the science well. This is a near impossible shot, folks. In photography, it's black on black on black on black, and to get detail in all of those different densities of black is quite difficult. And I took I think about 22, 23 shots that night, and only one worked.
Yep.
There's no way you can meter or measure your light exposure. You have to guess and try different aperture settings and everything, because you got to balance it all out. Crap. And then instead of having the black water in front with the streaks, I took a massively powerful strobe flash and flashed the water so it would reflect against the little tiny ripples in the water to help fill in some of that blackness.
It is an amazing picture, and
Yeah.
like Porpoise
Yeah.
says, I know that night photography is extremely difficult to get contrast good.
And that streak that you see back and forth, that is the actual cab and crane shovel going back and forth, taking the ore out of the boat and putting it in the coal yard.
Mm-hmm.
But it never was still long enough to capture the cab, so all you see is the streak of the reflected light.
Yeah, because you had to have a long exposure for that.
Now the other shot, I thought I had put one that was even more severely close, zoomed in than that.
Yeah, that was the first one that Perp put up.
Yeah, apparently I didn't. But if you look at the second one, you can begin to see.
Okay. Where was my? Okay, I gotta just turn my screen off for a minute to get the other picture up, just to make sure I'm not accidentally showing anything that people might not want me to show in the private chat.
Sinister, the answer to that question is Quaaludes.
Yeah, good job, Jenny.
Excuse me. Okay, yeah, there's the zoomed in image.
Yeah, I have one that is much more severely zoomed in. You right in the middle of the bow, that's the bow line. Just to the left of it, you can see that little lump of whiteness. Those are the depth numbers. And when you look close enough at the photograph or blow it up enough in this format, you can actually read all the numbers clearly.
Gotcha.
You can look at pictures of the cab and you can see window air conditioners in some of the windows, and you can see the individual rigging lines that are there. And it's just, I think it's the best photograph I ever did.
Yeah, it is an amazing picture.
And I'm trying to donate it right now to the Wisconsin Maritime Museum to see if it's acceptable enough to them in terms of, history and interest. And I think it should be, because coal
Oh, yeah.
shipping was a huge thing on the Great Lakes, and now it doesn't exist.
Well, coal shipping and iron ore shipping were both huge things from Minnesota and Wisconsin.
And in this particular picture, nothing in that picture exists anymore. The boat was scrapped. The giant crane was scrapped. The power plant that owns the coal yard now is gas fired, and the coal yard is turned into a public park. So it's a picture of things that are 50 years ago.
And Sinister Porpoise is saying, how do I get rid of knowledge of Great Lakes freighters I really don't need? Porpoise, I may answer that for you sometime when I can figure out how to get rid of a lot of knowledge about World War II ships that nobody else is interested in.
And Porpoise, whatever you do, don't play any Gordon Lightfoot.
Well, yeah, I would have that problem because, yeah, Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is on my playlist in the car. I'm a big Gordon Lightfoot fan. I have really loved most of what he's done. But that's just my kind of music that they, a good acoustic guitar.
Combined with a good electric guitar.
Sometimes, yes.
Porpoise really does know far too much about Great Lakes. Or
Everyone knows about the Edmund Fitzgerald and even the Carl D. Bradley and the Daniel J. Morrill were high profile. Okay, I don't know about the General J. Morrill. I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, anyways, this Maritime Museum is in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, a small community like halfway between Door County and Sheboygan.
Mm-hmm.
If you know where any of those things are. And they've had this Maritime Museum for quite some time. They have a World War II submarine that is wet docked, that they take people on tours. And actually, this is a cool thing that they do. Like a Boy Scout troop or a Girl Scout troop or something like that can book the submarine for an overnight. So the kids get to sleep in the crew quarters and stuff like that, and as part of their tour. It sounds like it'd be a fun thing as a kid.
Okay, Porpoise, this is referring to the General J. Morrill, that it split in two in Lake Huron. One survivor, the bow sank 8 miles behind the stern.
Wow.
And commander at Deep State Annex had, if you need to forget things, yes, just do not wear face protection. Yeah, if you really need to forget things, try watching like some flat earth stuff without face protection.
The Elfara, wasn't that one that disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle? There was a great documentary on public television.
Good one, Tsunami.
Yep. Sorry, Jenny.
A great documentary on Wisconsin public television, their own production. It's a few years old. I've seen it before, but it was nice to see it again. It was all about shipwrecks on Lake Michigan, and there's 16,000 ships at the bottom of that lake over all the years. And this is a story about how people began to discover the deeper ones and the equipment development that took place and stuff. And there's this one guy who's of note in it, Edward Nohl, Nohl. And I knew his wife. She was a resident in Fox Point when my parents were living there, and I was still in high school. And I used to ride my bike down to the lakefront. This road is literally 2 feet from a drop off to Lake Michigan.
Yep.
And her yard, she was an artist at one of the colleges in town. I think it was Cardinal Stritch. I don't remember for sure anymore. And she used to build all these sculptures in her yards out of concrete and lake rocks and smoothed out lake rocks and kind of stuff like that. And everybody called her, oh, she was the witch. She was known countywide, and high school kids would come down and go shine the witch's house, with their car headlights, because the street made a turn right in front of her house, and so you could just stop halfway through the turn and you light up her entire house with your headlights, which I'm sure was very annoying to her. But I rode down there on my bike, and I ran into her when she was in her yard once doing some gardening, and we just chatted and talked. And it turns out her husband was one of the people who created deep sea diving equipment, which was done on the Great Lakes because they wanted to go below 300 feet.
Yep.
And there was a doctor at Marquette Medical School, which helped figure out the gas combinations that they'd have to use to survive down there and all that kind of stuff. So Lake Michigan and the Great Lakes are more than just a bunch of puddles, folks. They have had a lot to do with the entire world's growth in oceanography and stuff.
Well, and everybody knows about Jacques Cousteau, as far as the underwater photography and that he did.
So
most people don't realize that how much of the equipment he invented.
Yes, he was one
Like the Apple
prime
one.
developer of scuba.
He invented scuba, and he invented a lot of photography equipment to film underwater.
Okay, so I have one of my favorite pictures I took while working as a journalist. Not nearly as good as the one Jenny took, because one, it was during bright daylight, and two, it was on a cell phone that had limited resolution. But if you would like to show a picture of the flagship Detroit at DC-3, please put it on screen now.
Mage, could you grab that? I have to step away for a moment.
And note Jenny's was in the dark. This was a lot easier to take.
That exposure or purpose was, I forget the precise, but it was somewhere between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes.
Well, I have a story about this one too, as soon as it gets shown.
And then I had to mix custom developer to actually push the film that far.
All right, that's the flagship Detroit. Oh, go ahead, Jenny. Sorry.
I just going to say that's pretty.
A DC-3 that they rebuild and still fly around, and I guess if you can join their organization, you can fly a couple times per year for free on it. So after I did a story on this, after it came to the local place here, I got an email from one of the people, one of the grandsons of the pilots of this plane.
I love that paint job.
And he said, hey, do you know when this is happening? And I said, I can't imagine they don't want to hear from someone, from a grandson of one of the original pilots. It's like, why don't you just come here and see? And apparently they even let him take the wheel or yoke of the controls of this particular plane.
There are still DC-3s flying around all over the planet. They're just a very, very capable craft. There's people who make new parts for them. There's shops that specialize in doing nothing but restoring those things. They're just very popular still.
Well, that's because they were reliable, and a lot of people feel the only replacement for a DC-3 is another DC-3.
Yeah, believable. And weren't they classified as a C-47 in the military?
Yeah, if they were fitted for the military, they were the C-47.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the contrast. This is obviously taken during bright daylight, so this was easy to get. I just wish I had better camera equipment at the time, because now it's rainy and it's clearly dated because it's like a 640 by 480 cell phone pic.
One form of photography that has always frustrated me, I'm just not very good at it yet, is photography at air shows. I mean, it's real easy to get a picture of the side as a plane goes across your vision, but if it's above you, That contrast between the shadow underneath and the sky above is so difficult to negotiate. Oh, I should also mention, like I did in the DM chat, that boat, you can see it on digital because I scanned it, which I'm sure everybody assumes. But that is off of a print, not a negative. The negative was stolen. When my briefcase was stolen, the negative was in it.
So
and that was scanned off the last existing print, which was 11 by 11 inches.
So yeah, if someone would show Jenny's picture again, just so we can understand like how different they are, and because the day photos are a lot easier to take.
And we scanned it at 800 dots per inch. It took like a half an hour to do the scan.
Because I've dabbled in night photography. I'm grateful my Samsung has a night photography mode, but Jenny was not using a digital camera.
Yeah. Yeah, this handy little 2 1/4 I had, which is a great camera. Try to shoot sports with that thing.
Well, I was going to say, my Nikon D3500 doesn't have a sports mode where it just takes multiple pictures in quick succession.
Oh, I should also mention it's square because that was the shape of the film negative. It was square, and that is an edge-to-edge image too. That's not cropped in the enlarger or anything. That's what the studio I worked for in those days, the owner didn't consider you a good photographer unless you could shoot a quality image edge to edge with no cropping. He hated me.
Yeah, if anyone, sorry, assuming I missed that mine. If anyone wants to know more about the El Faro, Brick and Mortar does have a good documentary on it. And it's like, yeah, and apparently the captain was just pulling old weather data and sailed the ship, an aging rust bucket, into the eye of a hurricane.
Yeah, I was wondering about what Tsunami said about it. That, at that point, shouldn't the crew have mutinied? While it would have seemed they would have got in trouble originally, I'm sure that at a trial they could have explained it.
Well, the captain just had incorrect information. He wasn't like mad or anything. He just insisted his model was correct, and everyone else was using more up-to-date weather information, and more than subtly suggesting it's like, hey, we have options. But if you watch like the Brick and Mortar thing, the captain may have also felt his job was in danger at the time. And
that if he didn't make the delivery on time, that he thought he'd get fired. Yeah, unfortunately, unrealistic performance demands like that happen a lot in the kind of capitalism we have. That people wind up risking their lives to try and save their job.
Watch the full documentary. I got the impression he wouldn't have gotten fired. He was just denied a promotion to a more modern ship. I don't think they were going to get rid of him. They just would have kept him there as long as those ships would sail.
There you go. If you can zoom in on my avatar, I changed it to the zoom in look of that boat, and you can read the numbers.
Wow. And you were, what was the distance you were photographing this from? It must have been considerable distance just for getting the size of that ship in the frame.
It had to have been almost 100 yards. And I can't claim, I'm not responsible for the sharpness. That was the equipment. That's Carl Zeig's lenses are everything that they say they are, as you can see right in that picture.
I think you're underselling yourself, because an awful lot of it is knowing how to use the equipment you have properly.
Oh, true. And the exposure and the cropping and all that has to do with that, but just the base sharpness of it is the responsibility of the lens, and the fact that I could focus to infinity.
As a hobbyist photographer who doesn't do it professionally, I couldn't do this.
Oh, I think you could if you try. There was a lot of things that just worked right for me that I had no control over. The weather was the major thing. That the boat was Lake Michigan was just dead calm that night for some reason, and so the boat wasn't moving around. Otherwise, it never would have worked.
Yeah, it wasn't bouncing up and down like it often would.
And it was a nice crisp evening. It was later summer. And I happened to be in the right place at the right time, for the boat actually being unloaded and action happening in the middle of the night. I think it was maybe around 10 o'clock when the picture was taken.
Molly's playful.
Oh, is that what we were hearing there?
I thought somebody was hungry.
Hey, puppy.
She brought me her ball to play with.
Ah. Oh. My kitties usually only get playful late at night, but they tend to get the zoomies about 1 a.m. And it'll be funny because it's like Ethan is like challenging Sammy's son that he will go, speeding down and like tag Sammy's son and then come back at full speed and jump up on the arm of the chair to see if Sammy's going to chase him.
Molly usually gets her zoomies after a walk.
Oh yeah, but cats are different with their zoomies.
Yeah.
Woofda?
Woofda.
Yep. Okay, that's what I thought it said, but the U's kind of cut off in the way it's cropped.
That's the bike rack outside of a Norwegian breakfast shop.
Cool. I very much like that. Yes.
Nearby. Yeah, I've driven past it for years and I never noticed it until last week. Oh, look, it says Woofda. And I made a new friend today. I'll show you that too.
Oh. Goodbye. Friends are good. It's good to have friends.
I love my new phone camera. It's just holy fuck.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
To be able to do that on a goddamn bug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I can even, see the veins in the wings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, I could never do that with any camera just because I can't hold my hand steady long enough to keep it from blurring.
Well, you got to brace yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
Or use a tripod.
Yeah. I try to, but without a tripod, I could never get an image of anything small. I've tried a lot of, taking pictures of toys and Lego models, and without a tripod, I just can't get them so they're not blurry.
And here's our local Halloween dogs.
Can't see them very well there.
Yeah, you kind of have to pinch. I can pinch and zoom and enlarge any of these avatars. I can't keep it that way, but as long as my fingers are on
Okay, do you only have them as avatars? You don't have a larger picture that you could put in the Twitter?
I could.
I'd like to see the... Oh, there we go. That looks good there. Yes. So that's the three-headed dog.
I'll be right back.
Oh,
then the heads move and the mouths move.
You dropped out there.
Yeah, we didn't get you back on screen, and then we lost the beginning of that.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, we only heard you when you were starting to say that the heads move.
Yeah, the heads move and the mouths move.
Okay.
It's on this little cycle that happens every couple minutes.
Yeah, I just thought that you were like in the middle of a sentence there, that we had missed something before that.
We have dual Jennies here. We had dual Jennies. You dropped out for a minute.
Oh, so we're gonna have another fight between two lesbians, and they're probably gonna beat the tar out of Unfinished Song.
I'm peaceful. I don't fight.
Yeah, but you're the good clone.
Yeah. I don't start fights, but if somebody takes a swing at me, I'm going to go berserker on them. And I'm still going to lose the fight, but I can do a good amount of damage in the couple of minutes before I feel the pain.
Here, this is the coffee mug from the breakfast place.
Excuse me. And a pokashika ketchup. Okay. Okay.
This place sells lutefisk.
No, wait. I've got a photo that will be guaranteed to get everyone's attention.
Okay, I'm having a little trouble reading the writing on the mug.
Northland Lefse.
Ah.
Rushford, Minnesota. Minnesota.
They serve lutefisk, but does anyone order it?
I don't know. I don't stay long enough to smell them cook it.
Yeah, that's been my problem with it. I can't really tell you what it tastes like. I know I tasted it at one point in my life, but for the most part, I just can't get past the smell.
So if someone wants to share my last image, I guarantee it'll get everyone's attention. Jenny's are still better.
Which one?
In private chat.
Yeah, I still just see the plane as the last one that's you put up. Oh, the private chat.
There are a couple there, but most of them are just... There's one that was I took after, I think it was a derecho.
Nope, I'm not getting anything. Then click on that.
I think I can bring it. I get a picture. I think I got something here.
I think I know what the issue is.
I think I got something, but I'm thinking it's not the image that you meant to share.
Which one? Just show it.
Yep.
If you can. I think I see what the issue is. With the first one, which was a picture of a squirrel.
Yeah. That's
the picture I meant to share.
Oh, okay. Okay,
cute.
It wasn't directly on topic, so I didn't know.
Of course it's not directly on topic. It's just a picture of a cat in a suitcase.
Yep.
But that's a very nice cat picture.
Yeah.
It's razor sharp. I can see that from here.
Athena was afraid I might have forgotten something.
Mm-hmm.
Namely her.
Yep.
FOMO.
My little buddy Guapo, that when I was putting the groceries away, he would always jump into one of the fabric grocery bags, and then I would always lift him up and I would carry him over to where my fiance was sitting and just set him down next to her, and he'd pop out of the bag, surprising her. And after she passed, he did that like twice. And when he realized I couldn't bring him back to her, he never did it again.
Oh.
He just stopped playing that game when he realized she wasn't coming home. So, yes, kitties definitely mourn people they've lost. I have to wonder now, too, if Petunia just kind of decided to give up because it was almost to the week a year after Sloth Girl had passed.
I don't know. How old was Petunia?
We're not really sure because she was a shelter rescue, but I'm estimating she was at least 15.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, she was half Maine Coon, and from what I was reading, the life expectancy for a Maine Coon is actually only like 12 years.
Yeah,
So she was definitely an old lady for her breed.
she had a long life.
Yep. Well, and we gave her a good life the last 9 years. She obviously had been abused before that, so at least in the end, we gave her a real good life.
Athena, if you're going to show the tail, the rule is you have to show the rest of you.
Come on, let's see that butt.
I was about to say we didn't need to see the butthole. But
Hey,
I
when
do
you
see
guys
ears.
put up the picture I put in the DM of my avatar. I want to share that with the audience. It's such a clever little drawing.
Athena, I should finish that programming, that JavaScript program. Do you want to help me with that?
And the caption says, Timmy's parents prayed to God to cure him of his belief in imaginary friends.
Yeah. Okay. Man.
All right, Athena, you know the rules. I'm not going to pick you up today. Last time I picked you up, I didn't do a very good job of it.
Oh. Saturday I was able to get my kitties in to get their nails trimmed.
You know, Athena, I need to make a dental appointment for you, Athena.
Why don't you just bite them down like I do with my toes?
The kitties don't really like me playing with their paws, so I have to bring them to the groomer for it. Because they won't stay still if I'm playing with their paws, and I'm too nervous that between my arm twitching and between them moving around, I'm too nervous that I'm going to cut into the quick.
I use a grinder on Molly's nails.
I've had one of those, but every cat that I've tried to use it on has been just too scared of the sound of the motor to let me use the grinder.
But you have to get them used to it first.
I know. And I've tried to do that, but when it actually came to putting it on their nails, none of them would tolerate it. You know, even if they got used to the noise, I think still the vibrations from putting it on their nails bothered them too much.
Molly acts all melodramatic about it.
Well, I'm taking it from an autistic perspective, you know, that just if they have a heightened sensation from that, I can see why they would pull away.
I love how dramatic dogs and cats can get when you're trying to maintain their feet.
Yeah.
I've seen some husky pictures where you just touch their paw and they pass out.
Yeah, Molly kind of lays down like, no.
Bunch of 5-year-olds.
So, Athena, I think this is the best I've ever looked on this stream.
Well, at least we are seeing her full face shot. Yes. Pretty kitty. Oh.
I wish I had green eyes.
And red hair.
Yeah. Oh, but I do.
And at the moment, we're Irish and not an American.
I just have to pick the right avatar, that's all.
Unless I'm living in America.
Well. Jenny, there's a way you can go and get those. It's called stalking, but
Really? I thought it was called hair dye and contacts.
well,
I wouldn't change although I've considered going through that process and have them dye one eye brown so I could be heterochromic.
yeah, I would be. They're not doing anything with my eyes unless it is really necessary for me to keep seeing.
Yeah, wait till your cataracts gotta go.
I wouldn't mind getting
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting contacts that would be able to help block some of the sun.
Yeah, well, Jenny, I am definitely being very aware of the cataracts because my mom had to have them surgically removed from both eyes.
Well,
So
cataract.
that will probably come to me in time.
Cataracts will come to most people with enough age.
Yeah, it's very common.
It's not even genetic.
Oh, I thought there was a genetic component to it, but
There might
yeah,
be,
I knew
but-
it. I knew that, people that especially people past 70, that it was quite common.
It's just due to damage to the cornea, I believe.
Yeah.
No, the cataract actually lives within the actual lens, not yeah. And I don't know why it happens, but like you said, it is very, very common.
It happens because God's perfect design didn't make them sturdy enough to last as long as we're living.
Fucking God.
Which, okay, if most people in modern society are getting them, when they're 70s, how did Noah? How was he still able to see anything when he was 900 years old to read the blueprints?
Magical eye surgery.
He had a cane.
No. That was Adam and Eve that had a Cain and an Abel.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Perp, when your cataract surgery comes, you should know it's painless. Okay, and you do not see the knife coming at you at all, and you don't see the sutures being put in, and you just lay there looking blurry out of your head, blurry for a while. And
Yeah, my mom had it while I was living up there in Michigan, so I was there helping her through some of it.
Do you wear regular glasses?
Me? Yes. Actually, I'm wearing bifocals now.
You can have it corrected so that your far vision is 20/20.
Yeah, well, that's what my mom said, that she was just amazed at how much better she could see because she couldn't even remember ever seeing it that well.
Actually, I think they have a chemical now that will help. I don't know if it's approved yet, but it actually restores the chemical that's gone from your eyes that makes you unable to read fine print after about 40 years of age.
Yeah, well, I have trouble with the fine print now, so. And actually, I find the bifocals don't really help. That for reading fine print, I'm much better just taking off my glasses.
I don't really know where my regular glasses are right now.
So those are your unleaded ones?
These are my prescription sunglasses.
Ah.
Hi, Athena. Can I help you? Athena.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into how much it's gonna cost me to order prescription sunglasses.
Athena, did I skip the holiest day on the feline calendar yesterday? Moist cat food day? Is that why you're trying to get so much attention?
San Diego 3, Chicago 0, top of the 7th.
Yeah, I have astigmatism in my eyes.
Well, I think the next time I get glasses, I'm going to get anti-reflective glare if I'm going to continue doing any sort of video work. Anti-reflective coating.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially with limited... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just saying I have to have the big wraparound sunglasses to wear over my regular glasses. And even for night driving, I need to wear a pair with the yellow lenses to cut the glare from the oncoming headlights.
I actually started
Yeah.
wearing safety glasses.
Athena, can I help you?
Yep.
They have the wraparound, and they're fairly cheap.
Hmm.
So chat, type 1 if Athena should have her moist cat food. Type 2 if Athena should demand her moist cat food.
I have those safety glasses that are like classic 1950s horn rim glasses. Gray, ugly as shit, and they have those little screen things on the sides.
All right,
It
Athena.
never failed to amaze me how wearing glasses, you think that, well, gee, stuff doesn't get in your eyes. It always seems to be able to come in from the side and bounce off your face and go into the eye.
Yep.
Damn.
Well, the thing is, if you're wearing regular glasses, then anything that comes in from the side from any angle will bounce off of the lenses and back into your eye. I learned that doing arc welding. That the face shield didn't wrap around enough. It was just too much in the front, and yeah, I got not actually in my eyes, but I got hot metal fragment like just in my eyebrow. Nobody else voted for Athena.
Athena voted for Athena.
Well, I mean, what do we have to do, to get to get some audience interaction here?
I don't know if there are that many in.
Well, also I know that generally when we're doing our streams, at least half the people in the audience are driving.
That she now
So-
she got her moist cat food.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So I'm currently
Why?
putting some.
Can
I'm
we-
currently
Sorry. Protect the chat.
I'm currently putting some pictures of mine in the Twitter chat.
Okay.
What are they pictures of?
A radial engine that I made in SolidWorks.
Oh, no shit. Wow. Radial engines are amazing. Except for that French one where the whole damn engine turned and the pistons stayed in place.
I personally prefer analytical engines.
Oh,
Jeez.
you don't like decimal engines?
The analytical engine would have been base 10.
Journey, you're really good.
I'm not seeing anything. That's because no one brought it up. That's why.
Yeah, I just figured that every time I try, Mage brings it up before I can get there, so I guess Mage thought I was doing it. I thought Mage was doing it, that's all.
There you go.
Are you into radio control planes at all, Journey?
I'm aware of people who do that. I find it interesting. I don't. I don't know that I would be into it enough to try my hand at it.
Yeah, the price to get in is pretty steep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the big things with a lot of folks is realism. How real can you make the plane look? Not just these hobby things that are park flyers. And so World War II warbirds are a real popular item, of course. A manufacturer builds these miniature radial motors. I mean, the whole thing in its circle is, maybe an 8-inch circle, something like that, 5-cylinder typically.
Yeah.
And they put them in these warbird planes, and they take off. And when they come past you, they sound just like the real full-size radial engine. And it is like, holy cow! It's just totally real.
But is it as good as a triple expansion steam engine?
I've never tasted one of those, so I don't know.
I couldn't even tell you what one of those were. I've just heard the phrase often enough.
When I was at the thrift store with Molly's son, I found one of those old, Estes model rocket kits. So I had to explain to him what it was. So then I had to buy it so that the two of us can put it together and go fly it. We'll have to find a big enough field that I can fly it in, that we don't have to worry about the parachute getting tangled in the trees.
Jeez, Journey, you are really fucking good.
Well, thank you.
What was this program?
I did this in SolidWorks.
I'm not familiar with that one, but then again, I'm a programmer and not a designer.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's a CAD application.
yeah, I have a friend who does things in LibreCAD or FreeCAD.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is commercial or not.
Yeah, it's it's a commercial application. Yeah, the main competitor to SolidWorks would be ProE, or I think nowadays it's called Creo.
Wow. Yeah, I have to learn how to use a CAD program. I still do things the old-fashioned way with my drafting board and pencils.
I knew how to use AutoCAD like decades ago.
Yeah.
But I don't. Go ahead.
I need to learn a CAD program so I can start using it for, designing the woodworking projects I'm going to build and things like that.
Why learn CAD when you can learn to program? It's much more fun.
Because a program is not going to help me know where to cut the panels.
It can if you program it right.
Well, maybe if I had, like one of those computer-controlled laser cutters or something.
CNC machine.
Yep, I still do the math the old-fashioned way, mostly in my head. Sometimes with paper and pencil if I have to remember too many numbers at once.
Wait, doesn't doing maths the old-fashioned way involve yelling at students to show their work?
No, that's teaching math. I'm one of the students you yell at because they can't show their work. It always befuddled the math teachers when I was in high school that I would get the right answers, but if I tried to write it down and show my work, I'd get it all jumbled up.
The problem is I would at least suspect you probably weren't cheating. Whereas today they have multiple ways, easier ways they can cheat, like including a program called PhotoMath, which will just give them the answer.
Yeah, my problem was my dyslexia. As long as I keep the numbers in my head, I do fine. Once I try to write the numbers down on paper, everything gets scrambled.
I could see that.
And then I love it when the students try to it's like, but I got this answer on the calculator. It's like using a calculator doesn't guarantee the correct answer.
Yeah. Well, I remember the calculators before they had multi-line screens, and about all you could do with them was spell boobs.
Or hell.
Or hell.
Yeah, but you poor cat.
Trump Marie Antoinette says no health care for you. Peasants, but okay, I don't much care for Governor Newsom, but his trolling of Trump is grade A.
Yeah, I gotta give him that much.
Sorry, I'm just staring at the detail level of the gears here.
Yeah, that took some. Yeah, that took a little figuring. I mean, I figured gears were the best way to have the cams run off the crank, because with that many cylinders arrayed around, there's no way that chains would have worked.
Mm.
All
Yes,
right,
even-
so
That's the drafting I learned was actually mechanical drawing, drawing machine parts.
so here's an image to say to let people know why programming is better. It certainly doesn't give me a headache at all.
Programming doesn't give you a headache, then you're doing something wrong.
No, I mean, this particular code doesn't give me a headache.
See, most people don't realize it, but programming was actually invented by the company marketing Advil.
Well, hey, thanks to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., now I know whenever I get stuck on a hard math problem or a computer program, instead of thinking I don't have enough autism, I just go pop a Tylenol.
Yeah, well,
Well, Purple, you'll have to open up Porpoise's stuff. Is none of the stuff, none of these links are working for me.
I think it's Facebook. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Well, I'm actually surprised. Oh, I know why it's working for me. Okay, I've got it here. Let me do it. Share screen again. It's just that there's too many different buttons I have to press to share screen. Why does it take so many buttons to share it? There we go.
See, C isn't hard. That code defines F as an array of unspecified size of pointers to functions that return pointers to functions that return void.
Well, if you get rid of a little bit of it, and then it's boobs.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to kind of rearrange the parentheses a bit to get the boobs, but well,
yeah, that is valid C code, unfortunately. Except it's missing its curly braces.
okay. Well, if that's valid C code, I'm sticking to land code.
Wrong C.
Ba-doom.
Well, that just proves how confusing it is. Okay, just to warn people, I will have to wrap it up here in about half an hour because I've still got a lot of stuff to get ready for the weekend. And Molly is needing me to help her with something this evening.
And keep in mind, there is a programming contest called the Obfuscated Code Contest, where the whole point is to program things badly and try to make people guess what your program does. My favorite one was valid C code that was like, it was written so it looked like the letter pi that calculated E.
Okay.
So instead of calculating pi, what you think it's going to do, it's calculating Euler's number, which is the natural logarithm number. But
Oh, okay. I thought it was the chances for the Houston team winning the next game.
EULER. Besides, the chances for the Houston team winning the next game are 0.
Well, see, that is shows that I know as little about programming as I know about professional sports teams now.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Houston Oilers, their baseball team, are not in this playoffs right now, but I could be wrong because I don't follow sports.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the Houston Oilers were a football team that moved from Houston to Tennessee,
I was going to say
and
that's
they
right.
are now the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
That's right. The baseball team is the Astros.
Yeah, I knew that the Oilers were a football team. I didn't even know that they'd moved to a different state.
Yeah, for the first year or two after the move, they were the Tennessee Oilers.
Uh-huh.
And somebody said, wait a minute, does Tennessee even have an oil industry?
Okay, but see, they did this right. This is why I've always been saying that when a sports team moves to a new city, they need to adopt a new name that represents that city. So we don't have stupid shit like the LA Lakers. They are the Lakers because they had been the Minneapolis team from the land of 10,000 lakes.
Do they have any lakes in LA?
Well, they got
Dry
one big
lakes?
giant one that stretches to Japan.
I'm pretty sure they have lakes in California, but
They're dry lakes.
The Colorado River does feed a couple of lakes in California.
Okay, Perp or whichever one of you are capable. I just uploaded like 5 drawings up to the chat. Journey, these are for you. This is the best I can do with technical drawing.
Okay, those are journeys.
yes,
I can only do 2 dimensions. I cannot. I've never done 3D work at all.
Yeah, that's same with me. I've only been able to do 2D drawings.
yes, but can you link to your GitHub repository where your data science? Oh, wait, what's this?
Now,
They
see,
get it.
there
This
I go
is-
trying to do it, and by the time I get to the 3rd button, May just finished.
Can we
This
get it?
This is from a page from my manual. The manual is written to restore how to restore a particular car, and the assumed audience is amateurs, and amateurs don't even know the difference between a nut and a bolt, or a bolt and a screw, I should say. And so this is just a little illustration page of different types of hardware and how you measure it and pitches and all this kind of junk. So it's kind of just layout work, but it's also kind of technical drawings because I had to draw each screw individually.
Yep.
And if you actually measure them in the printed manual, they are the exact dimension that they show on the little ruler that's there.
Nice.
But can you use Python to do data science on the Book of Mormon?
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
no one cares. No one cares. But
Oh,
sorry,
that
go ahead,
sounds
Jenny.
interesting. to me.
Okay,
Okay,
all
next
I know
one.
is if you want to diffuse anything, never cut the red wire.
Well, it's okay to cut the red wire. Just don't be grounded when you do it.
But you know, it's been decades since anyone sent me to my room. Well, no, that's not true. Slothgirl did it periodically. So.
Yeah, but then she'd come in with the whip.
Perp, that one took me a minute.
This is half of a schematic. The only schematic that existed for the car was this little line, black and white line drawing that the factory did, and instead of showing individual wires, it just gave you a listing of wire number this through wire number that are in this bundle. And that's just kind of not adequate. So
Yeah, that's not really helpful.
so I redrew the whole concept back into a standard schematic with proper wire colors and everything.
Yeah.
So
And I made the components in the car look exactly like the actual components in the car. So that
Nice.
as an amateur's looking, they'll say, oh yeah, oh look, it's right here, just like this picture.
That has often been my problem with trying to repair a car from a manual or from YouTube videos, is they expect me to know what all the components are. And they say, like, you'll find it right down here, right next to this component, or, or right next to the pulley from this. And it's like, yeah, I can barely tell an alternator from an air cleaner. You got to give me more to go on.
Look, the thingamabob is right next to the doohickey.
Yeah.
How much clearer can I be?
Well, if you can tell me specifically which doohickey needs to be replaced, I can probably do it.
The one next to the gizmo.
Yeah, well, figuring out which one of them went bad, that I'm totally lost on. I need somebody else to do the diagnosis.
And that's the other half of the schematic. See the terminal. I'm real proud of the terminal block and the fuse box.
You
Okay.
should be. These are very clear drawings. I could probably follow this.
I couldn't, but that's not. That has nothing to do with whether or not they're good drawings.
Now, what's really insane with this is this drawing was done at 2,400 dots per inch, and if you actually have the PDF file that it is, and you zoom in on the light bulbs for the turn signals, there's 2 filaments inside the bulb.
Sure enough.
So, my unfinished journey, if you really want to see what I was doing with the Book of Mormon and have any ideas on how to expand upon it, the GitHub link is in chat.
Okay. I don't know that I would necessarily have any useful insights.
And
I'm an atheist.
that terminal block, all the screw heads are in a different position.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just all at 45-degree angles. And this is just a tool, which is basically a ground down bolt, but it's accurate to dimension and specifications.
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
And I think there's one more.
Yeah, you know, I did mechanical drawing, but I didn't have to make them look that realistic, like to make sure that I had the spacing of the threads right or anything like that.
How am I still faster at the? I'm doing something else at the same time.
Join us. Sorry, go ahead.
And this is a very, very accurate drawing of this one particular part of the heater assembly that likes to rust away. And you could actually use this to construct a new one that would look pretty much like the original if you're skilled.
Yeah.
Join us next week where I play the games I made on stream.
Oh, that would be fun. Watch a playthrough of your games?
I don't know if that would be fun.
Yeah, Let's Plays are popular.
I would find it interesting. Although, yeah, you're going to do that on Friday, so I won't be here on Friday to watch it.
But what Jenny did was far more impressive.
Yeah, Jenny really has a very artistic eye, both for the photography and for the drawing in such detail.
And for hot babes, too.
But, bringing up what I said, if you want to check these out on your own, there's the link. You can download them.
So what are you doing with this Book of Mormon?
Petty theft mapped?
Moped.
Oh, petty theft moped, okay.
What am I doing with the Book of Mormon?
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, there is some controversy, although it's not really a controversy unless you're arguing between Mormons and ex-Mormons, over whether the Book of Mormon had one author or had 12.
Ah.
Now, if you ask people who aren't Mormons, they say it had one, and furthermore, they usually go on to say that author was Joseph Smith. If you ask Mormons, they say it's 12 different authors, and they use different analysis. So what I did with this was used something called the K&L algorithm. I went to get the 1830s copy of the Book of Mormon, which was Joseph Smith's writing, an 1830s copy of the Doctrine and Covenants, which is also Joseph Smith's writing. And for this case, I pulled up off the complete works of Edgar Allan Poe. So I compared the works of Edgar Allan Poe, text from the Book of Mormon, each book of the Book of Mormon that was over a certain length, I compared each book of the Book of Mormon that was over a certain length to Edgar Allan Poe's work and Joseph Smith's known work to see if the algorithm using like the Euclidean distance formula learned in geometry showed that it was either closer to Joseph Smith's writing or closer to Edgar Allan Poe's. So, ironically enough, for all but one of the runs, it's a lot closer to Joseph Smith.
So you're saying the Book of Mormon is a horror story?
I'm saying the Book of Mormon was most likely not written by Edgar Allan Poe, is what I proved. If I wanted to be more thorough and to say, narrow this down a bit more, I'd either... Sorry, go ahead.
No, isn't that the same argument that a lot of Christians keep having over the Bible about whether or not it was all written by one God or whether it was written by dozens of different people?
It couldn't have been written by God. God was not a pencil neck geek.
Even the Christians will say, like, these are different human authors and they have different styles. Whereas,
not all of them. Some of the evangelicals still insist it was a single authorship.
Well,
but
specifically with the Torah.
But there is a reason why it would be harder for me to do data science on the Bible than it would be the Book of Mormon.
But the important thing to remember is that it's all a bunch of bullshit. And who cares who wrote it? It was written years, centuries after it actually occurred, if indeed it actually occurred.
And that's because the Book of Mormon was written. I had the Book of Mormon in its original language and the original manuscript.
Yeah, that's the difference. That you have something that can actually, be ascribed to being a single author that was less, now about 200 years ago.
I wonder if we can get people to believe that the Bible was generated by AI 2,000 years ago.
And none of the works were translations. That's also important.
The AI was programmed by the same people who built the holographic moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, you could use this method to determine if Luke and Acts were indeed the same author, which most scholars think they were. If you had the original text and something to compare them to that you knew was a different author.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they have done a lot of things like that on the Bible to figure out which sections of it were written by the same author, and to figure out, where sections of one gospel were copied from another gospel and so forth.
But yeah, it's not nearly as interesting as an entire manual done in AutoCAD. Or I have AutoCAD on the brain. Sorry, Jenny.
That's okay. I've never used AutoCAD. It's way too expensive for me.
Yep.
All the stuff all those drawings you saw were done in Adobe Illustrator,
which is also expensive, but not AutoCAD.
It wasn't in 1988.
Well, yeah. I mean, Adobe. I did get Creative Cloud just to see if I could use it. I've actually found Adobe useful for some things, but
I still am in love with Adobe Illustrator. I just won't use it because I am so opposed to the subscription model.
Yeah, I kind of wish they'd get away from that, but if they're going to release it every year, like, I think what they're thinking is, like, with the updates, I think they're thinking it's like, oh yeah, let's just do a subscription model because people are going to buy this over and over again because Word does the same thing, which is irritating.
Yeah. Well,
you're not forced upgrading it every upgrade. You can wait every other upgrade or something like that.
Well, we could just have them let you buy the program and then buy the upgrades that you want to buy.
Yeah, well, that's why open source has become a lot more popular for programs like Blender and OpenShot. And
I did find one of the programs I use that's a free one is GOM Player, but they apparently have an entire suite of video editing and audio editing programs that you can buy as a one-time purchase, and they will continue to give you free updates for life. So I haven't really tried their other programs, so I can't speak of how well they work. But
what I hate about the subscription model is nowadays, because I'm retired, not doing this for a living or anything, I'm not going to be using Photoshop every day or Illustrator every day.
Right.
But there's no way to subscribe for occasional use.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with all of them too. It's like each program I may only use a couple of days each month.
Don't sell yourself short, Jenny. I'm sure you can use this for your OnlyFans page. I was gonna say I didn't think that was.
Well, Illustrator is very, very good at Bezier curves, and that is basically the shape of a breast.
And that is the breast shape of all.
But
You guys, I'm going to have to scoot out of here early. My body is telling me I need to do some things.
Actually, I was going to wrap this up in 10 minutes
Yeah,
because, like I say, I've got other things I need to do this evening, and I need to finish being packed.
Okay, well, then I'm going to say my few words and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
I got nothing going except that my toe is healing, folks. I got my stitches out.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Healing
And
good.
I only have to wear this big block of wood on my foot for another couple of days. And then I
Yay.
can try to wear shoes and stuff again and see if I can still walk and all that kind of stuff.
And Jenny, we're gonna need to pick a movie for tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh,
The Velocipaster.
did you say that we should do that that Megan 2.0 that we should see the first Megan first?
Yeah. Figure save that one for when Purple's around too.
Oh, fine. That bitch.
Well, there are other Studio Ghibli movies that I'm sure Jenny would enjoy.
I was thinking Spirited Away since I believe you said you've seen that one already.
Yep, I've not only seen that one, I have it on DVD. So that would be fine. Since Jenny hasn't seen that one, that would be a good one.
Sounds fine to me. Folks out in the chat, you would be really welcome to come to the movie night. It's kind of an anime fest for the most part, but as someone who Mage brought into anime, if you've never experienced it in terms of its cinematic quality of animation and the detail and the true artistry of animation, not just cartoon characters, you have to give yourself a chance to see it. It's just amazing.
Well, Mage has been introducing us to it, but Jenny also, just your commentaries on it actually are also adding a lot to it, just as far as what you're saying about, how they illustrate the camera angles and things in the background and such. That has definitely, made me observe more than I would have noticed on my own, and that's definitely adding to the experience.
Well, I'll try to be smart.
It's something you're very good at.
Okay, so anyways, that's what I'm up to. A bunch of nothing and just masturbating and eating too much and those sorts of things. So I gotta go. And
Here's hoping your foot heals well and you'll be walking around again soon.
I hope so too. Thank you. Bobby, nice to see you as always.
And I'm glad you didn't wake up with bright orange casts on your feet like I did when I have my extra bones in my big toes removed.
Ooh.
Having bones removed sounds painful.
I was asleep the whole time, but I was just annoyed when I woke up with bright neon orange casts.
Ray Bradbury wrote a short story about that. A guy who complained of pain and went to the doctor, and the doctor removed all his bones.
Well, these needed to be removed. They were causing bone spurs, but
wasn't that an episode of Family Guy that Peter got zapped by a genie and lost all his bones?
Yeah, well, I think somebody read Ray Bradbury.
Probably.
I think it was a cutaway gag.
No, it was more
Like
than a
Family
cutaway gag. It was actually like half the episode, and the end of it was finding a doctor who could implant a new skeleton for him.
Okay, well, that's all I'm going to listen to of this crap. So y'all have a wonderful time. And Journey, you got to give a report.
A report on what?
On the project? Anything new?
Progress of your project? How's it going?
Let freedom ring. No new information this week.
Okay.
I'm a slacker. You can smack my knuckles if you want.
I can't say anything since I've, taken off 2 weekends in a row, so.
That damn Purple. All right. Goodbye, you guys. Chat, love you very much, and we'll talk to you all later.
Okay. Bye bye.
Take care, Jenny.
Okay, well, Porpoise.
All right, so I will be on Godless Granny's channel this Saturday.
Oh, damn. And I'm not going to be there to kibitz.
Well, it's going to be interesting because I have to arrange it so I can be somewhere in Bloomington, Indiana, where I can do this recording and...
Well, that's interesting because I'm going to be right next to Bloomington, Minnesota.
Because I'm going to see the Book of Mormon musical that night.
Ah, yes.
Oh, lovely.
Cool.
I would love to see that performance.
I've seen a recording of it on YouTube. It's funny.
I've only seen little clips of it. I haven't seen the entire show.
Well, I'm sure when life has gotten you down and there's nobody else to blame, just lift your middle finger to the sky and curse his rotten name.
Yes.
Go home!
And you'll have to figure out which song. Your homework is to figure out which song that's from. But if you want to follow me on Clapper, it's at Mad Computer Scientist. I'm still on YouTube at Mad Computer Scientist 1. I am trying to actually work up a back income because I don't, without my students finding out, just because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
No,
it would
I
be
can
nice.
understand in your position that it's nerve-wracking to know whether or not you're going to have a job very long.
Just because Donald Trump is a wonderful leader, and I would never say anything bad about him with an earshot.
At least not while we're live.
Yes. Well, he's probably not going to go after us for the most part, but
Well,
Not-
not
at least not
us
yet.
specifically, but yeah, that the crap that the Republicans are pushing for transgender people in general.
Well, I'll speak on my own behalf, not behalf of everyone else here. You're an orange shit stain on America.
well, and to be fair, he lost big time to Jimmy Kimmel, and he deserved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as you're not Donald Trump or any of his cronies, be excellent to each other, and so long, and thanks for all the fish.
Well, actually, the be excellent to each other is the part they need to learn.
No, I'm okay with excluding them from that now.
Well,
Also,
just if they could be excellent to everyone, not just the people in their own party, is what I meant.
if anyone ever has a chance to open the curtains on Stephen Miller, when the sun's coming up, I don't know that he's a vampire, but I'm never going to stop implying that he is.
Worth a
Well-
try, huh?
Okay.
I've never seen his image in a mirror, so
For a vampire, what if you nail the coffin shot and drop them in a river? They're supposed to have a problem with running water.
See, I haven't made the running water joke yet. That's a good one.
Well, usually the way you'd handle vampires, you'd actually stake them to the coffin. So,
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like if they stepped in a river, they dissolve. Something like that.
no, they just can't cross running water the whole time.
Although there is a bit in Castlevania, the original on Netflix, where they enthrall a priest and have a priest bless a river so it's holy water.
Okay, well,
ah,
if they can't cross running water, how do they live in a castle that's got a moat around it?
I think moats were I don't think moats were running.
Yeah. Okay, so you just have to dig a canal to attach the moat to a river so the water's flowing through it.
Could be wrong though.
yeah. I think the part of the point of a moat is it's supposed to be foul and putrid.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the moat was really their sewage system. That's what
Well,
most castles.
it was also a defense against tunneling.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mage, we're up to you. What do you got coming up this week?
I got my Sunday show, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm still working on that one on AI. There's certain things I want to have in there.
Mhm.
It's been hard to get it all put together. That link I put in the chat there, that's to my Discord. So if you want to come join us on my midnight shows, you can join up my Discord and see it there. Or if you happen to be in the MidAmerican chat on Twitter X, I put the links there. That's at midnight and Eastern. I believe it's you're on Central.
Yeah, Jenny and I are
it'll
in.
be
Well,
okay.
Jenny
So it'll be
and I are
11
in
Central.
Central. Porpoise, are you in Central or your time zone over from us yet?
Listen, as soon as someone wises up and moves Terre Haute over to Illinois,
Yeah.
So Eastern.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That Porpoise is on the other side of the divide from us.
What I don't get is like if you go 2 counties south, it's Central.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get a universal little time to work with, huh?
Hey, at least it's not like Australia, that they've got some time zones that are half an hour and 45 minutes off of the county above them. Okay, sorry, Mage. We sidetracked you.
Oh, that's okay. That's about all you've got going right now.
But I still
Okay.
want Terre Haute to be part of Illinois.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, one, it'll make all the potheads happy. 2, we won't be in Indiana anymore.
Hey, we've got a lot of reason to redraw the U.S. map now. That seems, a minor little thing that we can include there. We might as well just make you a suburb of Chicago.
We're a suburb of Indianapolis.
Yeah, but what do you do with all the people who get stuck on the wrong side of the redrawn map?
I would say we're more of an exurb. We're pretty far from Indianapolis.
Yeah, well, Chicago considers things 100 miles away to be suburbs of it.
Like Gary?
Yeah.
Well, Chicago's a lot bigger than Indianapolis, though.
Okay, yep, I've got a lot going on in my real life, but nothing that's going to be happening online for other people to see. And I refuse to do anything about Christmas before Halloween, but after Halloween, I will have to start, finding out who wants to run a stream for the Christmas marathon.
I can always do one.
Yep. Well, like I say, we'll
I'd
wait
be up
until
for-
it's November to start doing that.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess that's it for us for now. And of course, we need to thank all the people who helped keep us running here. Excuse me. Kitty the Atheist, Robert X, Greg Hartwick, Sandy Shore, Skill Crasher, Regios, and Junie. Appreciate you all sending a couple of bucks to, help keep paying my internet bill so I can keep doing this. And not only doing this, but having some entertainment, because at this point, I don't watch TV. The internet is really my only entertainment. So, thank you, everybody in the side chat for coming. That's it helps a lot to have some people ask questions and have some input into the things we're talking about. So we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
May the odds be ever in your favor.